Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're embarking on a journey back in time to ancient Egypt to unravel one of history's most enduring mysteries: the pyramids. For millennia, these colossal structures have dominated the desert landscape, standing as silent testaments to a civilization of incredible ingenuity. They've inspired awe, wonder, and a seemingly endless stream of questions. How did an ancient society without modern technology construct monuments of such staggering scale and precision? What was their true purpose? These questions have fueled countless theories, from the plausible to the outright fantastical. And speaking of theories, a viewer recently asked me a fascinating question: could the Dardani have built the pyramids? That's the perfect starting point for our investigation. So today, we're going to dive deep into the archaeological evidence, separate fact from fiction, and find out the truth together. First, let's tackle a common misconception. The pyramids in Egypt, like the magnificent Great Pyramid of Khufu, were not built by a lost European tribe like the Dardani. They were the masterwork of the ancient Egyptians themselves, during the height of the Old Kingdom around 4,500 years ago. These weren't just any Egyptians, they were highly organized teams of skilled workers and craftsmen, citizens of a powerful and sophisticated civilization. And this brings us to one of the biggest myths of all, that the pyramids were built by slaves. For centuries, this image has been burned into our collective imagination, but modern archaeology tells a completely different story. In the 1990s, archaeologists discovered a lost city right next to the pyramids. This wasn't a slave camp, it was a bustling town purpose-built for the workers. Excavations revealed bakeries capable of producing thousands of loaves of bread each day, evidence of a diet rich in meat, and even medical facilities where doctors set broken bones with remarkable skill. The workers were housed, fed, and paid for their labor, not in coin, but in rations of food and beer, a standard form of payment at the time. We've even found their tombs, filled with inscriptions expressing pride in their work. They were professionals, taking part in a national project of immense religious importance. So if it wasn't aliens or slaves, how did they accomplish this monumental feat of engineering? It all started at the quarries. Using brute force and incredible ingenuity, workers would cut massive blocks of limestone, some weighing as much as an elephant. They didn't have iron tools, so they used hard dolerite pounders to chip away at the rock. For more precise cuts, they used copper saws. But here's the clever part: they used sand as an abrasive. The soft copper simply dragged the hard sand grains, which did the actual cutting. They also drilled holes into the stone, hammered in wooden wedges, and soaked them with water. As the wood expanded, it would crack the stone along a precise line. The main body of the pyramids used local limestone, but the smooth outer casing came from Tura, and the massive granite blocks for the inner chambers were brought all the way from Aswan, over 500 miles away. Getting these blocks to the site was another challenge. The granite from Aswan was loaded onto massive barges and floated down the Nile. Once on land, the blocks were hauled on large wooden sleds. For years we wondered how they moved such heavy loads across the sand. An ancient tomb painting gave us a clue, and experiments confirmed it. By pouring just the right amount of water on the sand in front of the sled, they could reduce friction by half, making the task possible. To get the blocks up the pyramid itself, they built enormous ramps. While we're still debating the exact design, whether it was one long straight ramp or a series of ramps that spiraled around the pyramid, it's clear they were essential to the construction. Finally, placing each block required astonishing precision. Using simple but effective tools like plumb bobs, square levels, and wooden levers, they positioned each stone perfectly. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy of within 1/10 of a degree. This level of precision, achieved without modern surveying equipment, is simply mind-boggling. All of this was accomplished without a single wheel, pulley, or iron tool. It was a triumph of human organization, project management, and brilliant engineering. But why go to all this trouble? The pyramids weren't just giant empty piles of stone. They were sacred structures, resurrection machines built as tombs for the pharaohs. The Egyptians believed the pyramid was a ladder to the heavens, helping the king's soul ascend to join the gods in the afterlife. The shape itself is thought to represent the primordial mound from which the Egyptians believed life began. Or perhaps the petrified rays of the sun god, Ra. They were the focal point of a vast complex of temples and causeways, all designed to ensure the pharaoh's eternal life and, by extension, the stability and prosperity of the entire kingdom. So, what was the ultimate purpose of these colossal structures? At their core, the pyramids were resurrection machines, built as eternal tombs for the pharaohs. The ancient Egyptians believed the pharaoh was a god on earth. Upon death, his soul would embark on a journey through the underworld before ascending to the heavens to join the gods among the stars. The pyramid's very shape, a ramp to the sky, and its precise alignment with celestial bodies like the constellation of Orion, were designed to facilitate this cosmic voyage, ensuring the king's rebirth and the stability of the entire kingdom. The sheer scale and precision of the pyramids have led to some, let's say, theories. Of course, there's the popular idea that extraterrestrials with their advanced technology must have been involved. Others propose a long-lost, highly advanced human civilization was responsible, like the mythical Atlanteans, or as some fringe theories suggest, the Dardani. It's easy to understand the appeal. When you look at these monuments, it can be difficult to imagine how they were built with ancient tools. This sense of awe fuels a desire for an explanation that feels as grand as the structures themselves. But while these ideas are fun, the truth, grounded in decades of meticulous archaeological work, is far more compelling. We don't need to look to the stars, we just need to dig into the sand. Archaeologists have unearthed the village where the pyramid builders lived. These weren't slaves, but skilled, well-fed Egyptian workers, paid for their labor in bread and beer. We've found their tools, copper chisels and hard dolerite pounders. Most incredibly, we have written records like the Diary of Merer, a 4,500-year-old papyrus logbook detailing the transportation of limestone blocks to Giza. This is concrete historical proof. The real story of the pyramids isn't one of aliens or lost civilizations. It's a testament to human ingenuity, social organization, and unwavering belief. The fact that ordinary people, through sheer will, skill, and a shared purpose, could create something so monumental and enduring is, frankly, more awe-inspiring than any fantasy. That is the true legacy of the pyramids. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment. What do you think about these theories? And don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating history.